Welcome back, everybody. After a nice little break there, we've got everything set up here now. 7:15 is our start time for this Academy game that is going down, and we do also have the roster locked in now for Academy as well.
Yeah, so the starting roster for tonight's match here, because first off, it is going to be Nitrix, who's been kind of like our coach, but he's also competing at the same time. We have Ramen, of course, returning from the Saints roster from the last couple of semesters, joining us once again here. And then we have Brisk taking the field today, which is going to be the first time we've gotten to see him. And it's currently a first-year esports student, so brand new to the college, and gets to take the field here in this first NECC preseason game.
Yeah, it should be exciting for sure. I don't know, you would know better than me. Danners, has Academy been on stream before yet so far, at least for Rocket League?
For Rocket League, no. The closest thing would have been, I think, iRacing, and then if you count CSGO. So it was a little while ago. So not quite yet, but yeah, for the school year anyway, the first time we're getting something Academy on stream here. And definitely looking forward to it as the squad is going up, of course, against Lees-McRae, which this squad is basically a wild card in my opinion, because we've never heard of them before. But yet, at the same time, from what I was told from Quint when we were talking a little bit behind the scenes, apparently they have like a pro-level coach. So you have potential with that.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see. We'll also get to see their names here in a sec. But Lees-McRae, we did a little bit of background research. School out of North Carolina there. Didn't look like a crazy huge campus or anything, so it could be another one of those schools like us where, just got a dedicated little esports program. So let's see how it goes as we get in Brisk there. Like we said, new player to this Academy roster. Seems like on the other side we've got Nick, Raz, and Raz is washed apparently.
He wants to emphasize that he's washed.
Yeah,
so,
maybe he's the ex-pro. And Wicked, just Wicked. Okay, lots of D's there.
Wicked.
Wicked.
And then, of course, the Saints, while we were watching the first varsity game, the Academy squad were playing their first match this season, which they were able to successfully take care of in 3-1 fashion. So it's their second game of the night, so they're warmed up, good to go. But the first time, of course, we're going to see them on stream.
Yeah, first time on the stream here. And once again, like we saw at the starting of that varsity set, a lot of feeling it out here. Nitrix just goes a little high with that one off the crossbar, and now trying to keep this presser going, but it seems like it's going to be a turnover of the ball here as Raz keeping himself in play as much as he can. Wicked going to shoot it back out to Raz over in the corner, but no follow-up on that from LMC.
And of course, just because the roster may be Academy, do not sleep on these squads, of course. Like Nitrix in his own right, one of the players from the Sierra Worlds that we had last semester, of course, and we know how crazy of a scenario that was, how good he is alongside the rest of his teammates here. So we now see another attempt here for LMC to maybe take the shot, but Brisk, a little punt over there to Nick, just to push that ball out of dodge and at least keep Saints safe for a little bit longer.
Yeah. And like you said, don't take this Academy squad lightly, especially because Nitrix and Ramen have that chemistry as well from playing on the Green squad last year together for pretty well, like 2 semesters, I believe. I know. Obviously
summer series, right?
Yeah, a ton of
division.
Yeah, there's obviously a ton of roster changes throughout the year and stuff, but they were pretty well on there for a consistent while. Wicked trying to take it down from the top there, but it's going to be Saints to save it.
Well, that's really cute there for a second, as we see a little offensive opportunity coming out here for LMC, but Saints on that last offensive play, they could have pushed it, would have just went into the defender. They faked it and just let it drop right into the crease. That was actually kind of scary. That could have turned into an opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Ramen passing it out to Nitrix, who's taking it into the corner a little high. Maybe trying to drop it down, but not the right angle on that to really start up anything. Brisk sending it towards the middle. There's Nitrix, but it's Wicked who's able to clear it out. Ramen with the contest, and now it's Raz. Wow, very back and forth here. No clears coming out. A lot of time with the ball at center field there. Don't see that often.
Yeah, Raz had to be careful and nearly use his hood as a tee to let the Saints members just smash a solid shot forward. But now, Wicked off into the Saints zone, looking for the shot, going to be interfered with, just kind of stuck in the corner. It's going to be Ramen, looking to pick this up along the right side. Brisk is available, but is just going to get denied. Nick got the demo, and before the shot can be taken, it does get stopped.
Yeah, oh, there's the first goal coming in from Lees-McRae. Wicked finding the first one there. Seems to be one of the more aggressive players on their roster so far. And wow, that demo was perfectly timed by Raz. Great teamwork there. Nick flying in just in case anything else goes wrong in that situation, but they're able to clean it up. 1-0 for Lees-McRae as they start a quick one, and it's Brisk taking it off the kickoff. No one there to stop him.
That's exactly how you want to respond, and holy smokes, first game on the stage, and you get to see a capitalization like that, and it's beautiful to say the least. I'm speechless.
Yeah. Isn't really much else to say. Tying it up immediately after that first goal. No sweating for the Saints here. Might have sweated a little bit there, but once again, quick shots coming out from both teams.
A little bit of an awkward bounce through the crease. It is going to still go into the Saints' favor. Good job on NECC. It pushes all the way through to the backboard. Shot does get stopped, however. Right into the corner again, though. That's going to be, I believe, Brisk who sends it right along. Raz going to make the initial save. Brisk looking for another one. Going to force Nick to get back and save that shot initially. But tied 1-1, 50 seconds left to go in this first game. And now it's going to be Saints kind of stuck on the defensive side.
Yeah, they are playing a lot of defense as of these past few seconds, but it's Brisk with another breakaway there. LMC not in the right position to stop it, and look at the way he just lets this bounce, dribbles it all the way in, and it just sails straight into the neck. Nick trying to catch up with Brisk that whole time, but too slow, not enough boost available. That's a cool looking car there. I like those wheels, they got dragons on them.
I definitely want to take another look at that at some point. Maybe I'll have to rewatch it later. But the pass off to Brisk, did Ramen just completely ignore the ball and take the player instead? If so, beautifully done. That was perfect handoff.
Yeah, there's
as
a
we
chance
hat trick.
That, no way.
Oh, so close.
Brisk. That would have been a way to start off your academy debut here. A nice save from Brisk, but Wicked gonna tie it up. 17 seconds left in this game. We could be going to overtime.
Holy smokes from offensive. Now we're kind of on the defensive side of things. Brisk did get the initial touch on it, but the crossbar kind of interfered with it. Ended up being the pass out front, and now we only have 17 seconds left here in regulation for this first game. And LMC, they're definitely celebrating a little bit after that one. I guess this is anybody's game again.
Yeah, and you saw NECC trying to rally back in the replay a little bit there, but I don't think either team was like prepared for it to bounce back off the crossbar like that. I think that was more so just kind of an instinctive play by Wicked to just get in there and get that shot. And it's going to hit the ground, and here we go. Overtime.
Now we just got to see a clean face-off here. And actually, that was really clean there for Lees-McRae. Had they been getting aggressive, they opted against it that time though, because that went directly towards the back corner that they could have possibly taken advantage of. Shot opportunity is going to be stopped for the meantime by the Saints Academy squad. NECC's going to try and lead off some offense here, going off into the left-hand corner. Takes care of one, but a bit of a pop fly is just going to let LMC take control.
Yeah, Wicked coming down here in the corner. Ramen, nice little bounce off the wall to send it towards middle, but it's Nick and Wicked in the zone now. Raz is perfect at keeping it in there every time, and Wicked finds it. Hat trick for Wicked. Lees-McRae finding that goal in overtime, taking it 1-0 against Saints Academy Rocket League here. We're going to be moving on to the next game.
Yeah, that was definitely a close one. Of course, overtime's always making it excited. Good on Wicked, though, apparently just finding all of the goals here for the side of LMC. Going to quickly take a look at the shot counter here. This time by, as it was 8-9, but Saints favored. Or no, not Saints favored. It was LMC favored.
Favored by 1, and that extra shot found them
just
that
overtime.
Goal.
That was it.
Brisk finding 2 goals for himself as well. A great way to show your debut. Almost seemed, trying to set it up for Brisk and Wicked there. Both teams just kind of, finding their main player there who they're going to be sending in to get aggressive. And now we should be getting to kick off in just a sec here for this second game of the set. Game 2 of the best of 5. It's going to be Saints winning the kickoff that time, sending it over to Nick in the corner.
Yeah, Nick's kind of stumbling with this, though. Was a little scary, but actually it looks like he's in complete control. No boost. Takes care of it all the way downtown. Can they get a shot off that? Wicked, though, is going to seal the deal. What a play from LMC, all starting with the control from Nick.
I think each player on their team touched it there, Look at that, the 1-2-3 rotations like I was talking about. I'm sure there's a more specific Rocket League term for that, but just being able to position your teams, getting in there, having that player from half rotating in after the first guy gets in, gets his backboard touch, right? It's just the way to keep that pressure on, keep the defense guessing. You can't beat it. Can't beat it. Getting a quick lead like this in game 2 starts the momentum. It makes the Saints sweat a little bit, makes them try to make some aggressive plays like that, as Ramen is going to be blowing up Raz there. A little bit of pressure off the backboard, though. Can't really find an opening here. That's going to be sending back into Saints zone. Nick almost able to touch it there as well.
Yeah, nearly finding themselves an opportunity. Raz is going to pin up the defender there from the Saints off onto the boards. It's going to force one player. It's going to be Brisk to try and bring this one down, but did not quite have full control of it. It's just going to go right back into the Saints zone. The demo there onto Ramen is not going to make things any easier. We're just kind of keeping it corner to corner, which if I'm LMC, I am A-okay with as of this moment because I'm just killing time.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, kill as much time as possible. You're going to be taking this slow, setting it high. The more time that this ball spends in half court right on that center line, Brisk, watch it roll in, watch it bounce in, just a slow one. And look at his teammate there. I believe it was Ramen who was in the crease there battling it out. Yeah.
Immediately.
Wicked away, yeah. Great way to capitalize on that slow shot there from Brisk and just allow it to sail into the net, tying it up. 3:40 left on the clock.
Perfect teamwork, perfect communication there as well. And like good on Brisk, like yeah, that may have been a bit of a slow shot. It's like why didn't he touch it again? But you don't want to risk accidentally redirecting it, and all of a sudden you miss the wide open net. But that's going to be now 3 goals in total for Brisk here in the series. So solid on him so far, as we now see NECC going into the crease, nearly finding an opportunity, but could not tuck it under the crossbar.
Yeah, I think at that point, you gotta like know yourself whether or not you're gonna be able to knock it down, and just commit to setting it up to one of your teammates at that point. But great try from NECC. He's gonna be in the same position again, but it's Nick meeting him in the air this time, rather than playing down on the ground there. But Ramen
nice
shooting
shot.
One in. Raz with a nice little save there. And it's Wicked taking it back out. But Saints, this past 30 seconds here, they're finding it in LMC's zone a lot. NECC, almost a perfect little setup there, but he's just out of position.
All the Saints are gone. They're not going to be able to get back in time. Everybody was going on the offense, and it lets the side of Lees-McRae go nuts, as it's going to be Nick just going to set it up just to make sure that Raz can tap it in. And sure enough, that is going to give him the lead here now in game number 2 after Saints had such a good opportunity, but it gets denied and countered.
Yeah, they really went all or nothing on that one, and LMC taking that opportunity as best they can, sending it all the way down there. Raz finding that goal there. I think that's the first goal that Wicked hasn't gotten for LMC's side in this set so far.
You might be right on that one.
Yeah, I think Wicked got the first one in this game. Nick coming in from up high, and it's Brisk there for the defense. Wicked coming in from the top. Not the best angle there for himself, but Nick, perfect shots. LMC is so good at just setting it up for that middle player to have a shot. Even if they do go wide like that, it's still the pressure. Keeping the pressure there and stalling the time. So good for them. Brisk, close one, but Nick comes flying in just to redirect it.
Yeah, that's just the thing, though. Like, although LMC has been doing a good job of setting things up, but I feel like Nick especially has just been completely willing to disregard shooting and just getting it centered.
Yeah, I don't think he's shot this game. Like, I don't think he's taking a shot himself. He's just playing defense and playing perfect setups.
Yeah. Every team needs the playmaker, and it seems like Nick is definitely that here for the side of LMC, but we definitely need something coming out of here for the Saints if they want to tie this one up. It's getting a little bit close. Minute 20 left on the clock as we see Nick, as usual, sending it right towards the center.
Yeah, sending it right towards the middle once again, setting it up, but Saints learned from their blunder last time, got 2 players back on the defense now, but with a minute left on this clock, you can't be playing too hard defense. You got to try and close the gap at some point. Now we've got almost a triple commit coming in from the Saints, and Brisk, they're on the rally back, as he's not going to let Wicked and Raz have another shot at an open net like that.
Yeah, it was at least long enough for all the Saints to get back on defense, but yeah, only a minute left to go. If anything, it still seems like LMC is the one looking to try and attack, because right now the Saints are just kind of at a standstill, and it leaves the net open for Wicked to get his second goal here in game number 2, and more than likely push this out of reach here for Saints Academy.
Yeah, 44 seconds and 2 goals. It's like, I feel like I say this all the time in Rocket League. It's doable, but man, is it a tough one to try and pull yourself out of. You know, you're staring up at that 2-goal lead, and there's just not much you can do unless you find one in this next 20 or so seconds here. But another one from Raz. That's going to be 2 for Raz, 2 for Wicked this game, taking the lead up to 4-1 against Saints Academy here in Game 2. And I think that's all but closed it out.
Did that pop fly happen off of a Saints defender or off of one of LMC?
I'm not 100%. We might have to look at the replay again off of that, but I want to say almost off of a Saints player, off of a defender, yeah.
Hey, if that case, then just fantastic reaction. Speaking of which, Ramen, though, he's not ready to give this game up yet. We have ourselves a 4-2 game now after Nitrix just along the side bounced it off himself and Raz, and that ended up being the perfect center.
Yeah, I mean, that's what... I think Saints just pulled what LMC have been pulling all game, which is just kind of instinctive plays and really trying to play off the unpredictable nature of the ball over there in the corner and over by the net, because so many times you'll just see a random tap and it'll send it where teams weren't expecting. Bar down there from Ramen. 16 seconds left.
They want this. They need to get it quick. They're going to get a shot, actually, but Nick going to be the heart stopper here for the Saints, as LMC going to kill off the rest of the clock here and put Lees-McRae College up 2-0 in this best of 5.
Yeah, good little rally there from Saints Academy at the end to try and bring it back, but Lees-McRae keeping that pressure on all game so good. The second they found that 2-goal lead, there was a minute stretch where the Saints just could not leave their half of the field, and burning the time like that really, got the clock going for the Saints. It put them under pressure, and they weren't able to rally back.
Yeah, and it did feel like a lot of these plays did just become instinctual. Like, it wasn't necessarily like major passing plays, which I mean, I think the first one for the side of LMC was actually pretty sick. Yeah. But a lot of it was just reactionary, instinctive shots on target when the opening just presented itself to you.
Yeah.
And as much as you like to go into the game having the game plan in mind, having a team-centric kind of style, you do still need to be able to react extremely quickly. And right now, Lees-McRae just capitalized on that one big time. Yeah,
calling plays and having a solid playbook is one thing, but if you're trying your passing plays and they're not working out, like we saw the Saints, so many of like the, I guess more basic, but not basic, but more common passing plays we see, right? The Saints are fine defending those, but it's these out of the blue, random bounces. Let it roll, but it's just too much to the left.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. That was so close there for the Saints. That would have definitely boosted a ton of momentum into their favor for the rest of this series. But with that, it's going to be one shot. Oh, Nitrix nearly getting the redirection on that. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, that would have been great to see. Ramen trying to jump in there. He's keeping himself positioned in this corner. 2 players actually battling for the ball there from the Saints. Is Brisk coming in mid, but Ramen better be back in his zone. He is there. Glad they're not triple committing anymore, because that would have been a tough one to see happen again.
Yeah, it was just Ramen kind of diving on in, trying to see what they can end up doing here. But right now, I do believe Nitrix and Brisk are just a little bit lackluster on boost, to say the least. Until Nitrix is getting all juiced up right now. But still, now kind of stuck in your own zone for just a minute. Brisk trying to get this one out, but it's not going to get out completely. That would look like an open net for a second, but I didn't even realize Nitrix was up there. The car camouflage crossbar.
Yeah, I didn't see it until his name tag came flying above the crossbar. Nitrix, Fred Carr, you're psyching us out here, but Ramen coming in with a good little setup, and Wicked's not able to catch up. Ramen from all the way across the field. Look at that. Let her bounce. Wicked, not enough boost there to catch himself up. Nobody on the rotation. Saints giving LMC a little bit of their own medicine.
Honestly, the Saints might be onto something here. Some of LMC's offense has been that borderline fringe 3 players over half. So the best way to do that, just send it from your crease if the opportunity allows for it.
Yeah.
Obviously way easier said than done, but that's going to be twice in this game already if the Saints have tried it. They hit the post the first time, and now Ramen able to get the Saints ahead here with that goal.
Yeah, and LMC, they got to they got to catch on that they're doing this as well, because all it takes is Saints to capitalize on that 1 or 2 more times, and LMC finding themselves in a tough spot in this game, but Wicked battling it out in the crease. 2 players there, but he's able to find the shot. And once again, it's Nick on the setup every time. Look at the setup straight to the middle. And Wicked coming in from the left there. Brisk not in position. And I mean, how can you be ready for something like that?
Yeah, unfortunately there, that defense all lied on Nitrix, and he had to defend 2 plays at once.
Yeah.
Do you defend the one person just taking the shot themselves, or do you take the pass? And 9 times out of 10, you let your partner take the pass. And unfortunately, there for Nitrix, couldn't get the initial person in that situation as well. So either way, it could have been trouble, but LMC is going to capitalize, tie this up, and continue their onslaught of shots on the Saints' net.
Yeah, it's like trying to deal with LMC's pressure right now. It's deciding between like the greater of 2 evils. It's like, do we want to give Nick as much time as possible to set up and just leave him free? Or do we want to try and shut down Wicked, who we know is going to come again flying in at some angle, and Ramen sending another one back from the other side here as he's going to find his 2nd goal of the match. Oh, actually from half court there.
Yep.
And yeah, once again, we see Wicked just so close to tapping it out, but not enough, as that's going to give Saints the lead once again by 1.
And that was such a weird one, because they were on the retreat from an offensive opportunity, but they just didn't have their boost yet. So while not 3 players over the line, it was still the consequence of a heavy offensive push.
Yeah, because, no one playing defense is the thing. No one in that crease, no one in that goal.
Brisk
bouncing off the top of Wicked. He's going to find the 3rd for the Saints. Saints are not letting this go 3-0 for LMC. They want to show that Saints are back in action here, and they're not going to take a 2-0 lightly.
Yeah, when they're the first team from Academy to get onto the broadcast. I know we were walking around a little bit earlier. They have the broadcast up on some of the consoles and up on the stage and whatnot. They want their time on the stream to be a shining one at that, and they are not going to try to go down 3-0 here. They're going to keep on fighting. 2 minutes left to go. Just got to keep hanging on, and we'll get to game 4.
Yeah. Speaking of which, while it's a little slower here, the arena is popping, which I love to see. It is so good looking, and it is always filled with people. So if you're in the Windsor area, don't forget to come check it out, because it is awesome. But Brisk finding himself a little demo there on Raz, as Wicked taking it into the corner. Wicked setting it up for Nick this time, but it just doesn't work out the same.
Oh, and then actually a 3rd person just completely misses. Another opportunity. Can Nitrix get there in time? Wicked is going to get there. Again, the moment was there where LMC overcommitted a little bit, but at least here for the Saints, it's not going to cost them by not being able to capitalize. They have 2 goals up. They have ball control. They're keeping it in their zone. And to be honest, still finding offensive opportunities. Hang on for another minute, and you got this.
And you can see when when he realizes that opening is there, and he just didn't get the angle on it that time.
Yeah.
But, you can see the adjustments coming out in the play, dealing with this hyper-aggressive style from LMC. And now they're playing more of almost like a bait and counter kind of play style, where they're trying to make those saves and then just send it and punish them for these overcommitting
Absolutely.
plays.
Especially now, if there's any time that you are going to full send it, it's this last 30 seconds. So
100%.
Just going to sit back, sit on the midfield line, or maybe in the top of the crease, as we see them trying to do. Wicked got past Brisk, but it does not matter when there's 2 other Saints right there on the defense.
Yeah, Wicked trying to take it high there this time, but, single-player plays like that just aren't going to work against this Saints defense. You really do need someone in there on the pass to make it, just a little bit more unpredictable, a little harder to save, forcing two people to try and split up there on the save, because other than that, you're just going to find yourself getting saved by Brisk, getting saved by Ramen, and now, is it going to touch the ground? It is. So 2-1, Saints Academy. We're still in this.
And we got ourselves a series now. So Saints Academy bringing it back strongly. And looking at the shot, oh my gosh, how did they pull this off when I look at the statistics?
10 shots from LMC, 4 shots from Saints that game. 2 of those goals going to Ramen, 1 of them going to Brisk. Nitrix with 1 save there as well, and 1 shot himself. Wow.
That hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts if I'm LMC. I'm thinking to myself, how did none of this go in? Were the shots just not high quality? Were they not fancy enough? Did I do something wrong? What's happening? You question yourself a little bit after something like that. But of course, being up 2-1, you do have a little bit of extra solace knowing that you have a little more time to figure it out.
Right, yeah, they're forcing the Saints to mount this 3-0 comeback right now. The Saints, you really can't even I wouldn't even say you can give up a goal lead at this point because the momentum would just be crushing there. But, you know, if you can find it like it was last game where you have a lead and you're forcing LMC to get a little aggressive and play catch-up, definitely going to find themselves in the upper hand this game. But a pretty slow first 30 seconds. It's a lot of back and forth. No crazy shots on net like we've seen in the past few games here in this first minute, but unless NECC wants to change that.
Hang on a second. This could turn into a breakaway opportunity, and it does! After the fake from NECC, holy smokes, what a play. I'm thinking to myself, why is NECC charging through? Yeah. He has like 10 boosts. He can't do anything. He just wanted to tip it backwards. Y'all might call it synergy. That is trust. I will go down until I am in the grave saying that, because you have to absolutely trust your teammate's going to come in clutch there, and they absolutely did. Yeah,
you got to trust your teammates, and you got to be aware of how this other team plays. You would say trust. I would say calculated as well.
I'll take that too. That's fair.
Nick, gonna see if he can get some setups here for Wicked, but it's actually Saints on the aggressive here.
That almost turned into a shot there for the Saints, but I think they've been really having a hard time clearing this thing.
Yeah, coming across mid there as Brisk, sending it back up top, but you don't want to see Wicked in the air like this. You don't want to meet him in the air either.
And multiple times we've seen him be able to secure that one-on-one, sometimes even a one-on-two. We now have Saints going the other way. NECC is there, Brisk on interference, but the shot is not going to come through initially, so the Saints are up 13.
Yeah, all calm from the Saints, though, as Ramen still finding himself in the back there for defense. Two players from LMC now coming in for a little bit of a commitment here. Play not going to go through as NECC is there for the save, but Wicked getting demoed by Ramen, and this is where the openings could come through for the Saints. Wicked now back up, but he's back in that blue side. He's going to send it high. As NECC battling it out with him a little bit, and wow, Raz, what a tap. I want to see this replay from, I hope it'll show us more from Raz's perspective, because wow, look at him just come flying in there and tap it in. Ramen not in the right position, just a couple pixels off to save that, and they're going to be tying it up here.
Yeah, it was a fantastic centering pass there from the wall as well. And again, good on Raz, because normally people, when they're in that kind of situation, would try to get like a hard angle redirect. But if anything, the goaltender was there for that, as we now see Saints right back on the counterattack.
Yeah, Wicked able to knock it out of the crossbar area just there, but now it's Raz setting it up.
No contact.
Yeah, no contact. Nick sending it high. I wonder if they're going to have Wicked come back in. He's on the rotation there.
He's just lurking. He's just waiting for an awkward pop fly, and it's going to be even more probable with these demos happening. An awkward crawl. It's going to be the opportunity for Wicked. Dives on in and passes it to Nick, and that's going to be the go-ahead.
Yeah, Nick with the shot this time, and he's actually going to find the goal as well. Nick, you know, we've seen him in the past 3 games here being the setup player, but this time it was Raz setting it up to him, and he's going to find that goal. Beautiful, beautiful play there, giving them the lead. 2:15 left, too. If I'm LMC, I'm taking as many shots on Saints net as I can right now. See if you can pad the lead, or just see if you can keep them in their zone.
Yep, they could just basically keep playing similar to how they played the last game. Like, yeah, Saints got the win that time, but like you said, it was 10-4 in regards to shots. So LMC, that kind of pressure, even if they're not even all on target, as long as you're keeping it within the same zone, there's nothing else you have to do here. And that big breakaway is going to let Raz just get his second goal here of game number 4 after what looks to be a fantastic steal. Basically makes the save and makes a pass for himself.
Yeah, there it is. Ramen not even close to saving that one, unfortunately. It's now 2 goals up. It's a much more daunting task for the Saints to come back here. They're staring at that 2-1 on the series score, thinking about how are they going to come back into this game here, you know, because as much as, they did win the last game, they won it mostly off of, Wicked coming in, sneaking it past through Brisk there, and that is a 3-goal lead, and yeah, none of those, they're not going to be allowing Ramen to find any more of those shots this game, so in the end, it just comes down to the fact that LMC, they're playing better offense right now, and there isn't much else to say.
This was the one time in this Game 4 that Wicked actually had a one-on-one opportunity and did not squander it. That's what we were worried about, whether it was a high-angle shot or just being able to like dance around in that one-on-one. It's been so good at doing that in this series and continues to pick up where they left off. There's 3 goals, Nick possibly another. Nick gonna get his second goal. And this is starting to run away.
Yeah, you see, I think it was Brisk and Nitrix there. Yeah, they both kind of committed almost at the exact same angle. And, they got caught on each other, actually, and then demoed in the air. Wow.
Man, an unfortunate turn of events there for the Saints defensively. LMC going to be able to just hold their ground at this point here and should be able to capitalize and take this first preseason game. But at the end of the day, like Saints still absolutely fighting on all cylinders. Not going to call it until it's done, but they have the fire lit under them at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Nick coming in here trying to find another one. Yeah, he's just trying to see. I think at this point, LFC's seeing what they can do, right? Nick, right, like we said, that more so a setup player, but now he's kind of trying to find some shots for himself. Isn't able to tip it in. It actually just rolls on the goal line there, and he's not able to find it. The ball not going to make it all the way into the net. Nick finding a demo on Brisk, though. They are trying to set even more up, but Saints might find themselves a little opportunity here. Maybe give themselves a goal, but Brisk, he's able to tap it in through Nick, actually, yeah. Nick, maybe he just didn't have the right angle there on the save. I really thought he was in position, to be honest, but Brisk, nice little shot.
Had too much faith that Wicked was going to make the save there, and it did not go into their favor. And that's really weird, because normally, whenever a situation like that, I feel like whoever has more boost tends to like get it at least a little bit closer to where they wanted.
Yeah.
Because Brisk was running on fumes.
Yeah.
But somehow was able to get it past Wicked and get another one on the board here for the Saints. But with 10 seconds left to go, it does look like LMC are going to take this one in game number 4, beating Saints Academy.
Yeah, and that's it. Maybe they can find another goal for themselves before it hits the ground, but it looks like it might actually be LMC who does that. Big rally here, actually. This is the longest one we've seen so far, but there it is. LMC taking game 3 against Saints Academy in their debut game here this season. Unfortunate, but, it's preseason, like we said. It's more so just for seeding and stuff like that. And Lees-McRae, new school, kind of like we said, we don't really know much about them here, but seeing the way they played there, maybe a force to be reckoned with in this upcoming season here in NECC.
It was definitely interesting seeing the players kind of have their own roles within the squad, even though there isn't really necessarily roles, it's just rotation. But it seems like you could tell that everybody was strong at one specific thing, but then able to kind of overlap a little bit. So Lees-McRae, this is going to be a squad or a school that I will definitely never sleep on ever again. I mean, never sleep on your opponents to begin with. But now we just have even more evidence to say, watch out.
Yeah, I think it was less the Saints sleeping on him, more so us sleeping on him here.
A little bit.
Podcast.
We're a little guilty of that one. I would
have hyped him up way more if I knew that. Their Rocket League team was such a contender. But overall, great play by Lees-McRae. Good adaptation from the Saints during the games. But Lees-McRae, I think they just had better offense this game, and the Saints weren't ready to deal with it.
Just able to instinctively find tons of plays, lots of one-on-one victories when it came to Wicked versus whoever the Saints defender was at the time, and then some beautiful passing plays as well. And honestly, big props to the Saints for being able to hold their own. Of course, from the information that we got from Quince prior to the broadcast, it's like, okay, you have yourselves a professional coach. And if I recall correctly,
dig on Nick's thing, and that was seemed like it was a tag or something because it wasn't in his.
I was just about to question that because even one of the little tags they have on the nameplates, it said like RLCS World's Contender or something along those lines. And it's like, okay, so either I am just so far out of the Rocket League community that I did not witness or realize that we were going up against like top level talent.
Yeah,
but if that is the case though, or no matter what, big props to the Saints for holding their own. But especially if that's the case, then holy smokes, good on you. That was a good series.
Yeah, honestly. And Lees-McRae, maybe could be that they just built their roster or something too, and they've been keeping it more in the dark before the season, right? They don't want people knowing, hey, we're coming into this season with a crazy roster, right? But overall, definitely a school to look out for there. In Rocket League here.
I'm definitely going to be looking forward to getting more Academy matches on the broadcast as well. Of course, for anyone who's curious as to what I'm planning for in terms of getting academy matches on here, it's one of the situations where like we'll have our varsity match, but if there happens to be something academy that could squeak before or after it, I'm definitely down. Like regardless of what the title is, I want to be able to basically touch on everything. I want to see if we can broadcast Apex for like the first time here for the Saints. I want to see if we can broadcast some Halo.
Yeah, or CS as well.
CS, the return of CS.
I'm really interested in casting a CS or a Halo game. I know Halo Infinite. I know there's like a lot of displease with it. A lot of the players aren't really pleased with Microsoft's look at it. But as far as I know, competitively, the game's sick.
It's beautiful.
Like, it's really great to watch. Yeah,
it's a shooter that's my older self can follow very, very well, which is a nice change of pace because some of the games as of late have been getting very, very fast, and it concerns me. If I ever end up casting Apex, I am going to be dizzy for the next 3 days. But that being said, there's one thing I want to touch on as well, because if we're talking about Academy, we're technically not done with open tryouts. We do have open tryouts happening tomorrow. I believe it's scheduled for 7 o'clock. And that's your last opportunity to maybe try and squeak a new title into the Academy, or get a part of one of the ones that are already as on the screen as we see here. Because of course there's Academy titles for all of the varsity titles, but it doesn't have to stay that way. Things like Echo Arena, iRacing, Halo, Apex, Siege is down on Academy as well. Like
fighting games, if anyone's into fighting games.
Yes, there's been a few requests for that.
I'm big into fighting games myself, so I'd love to see some people come out. Maybe I'll even come over here tomorrow, see if I can start something up. Obviously, most of my time is dedicated here to the broadcast, but I'm a big Guilty Gear guy. I love watching Street Fighter, even though I don't play it myself. I know there's a few Tekken players here on campus as well. I think some FGC stuff could be amazing to see in here, because something that I don't think gets a lot of recognition at the collegiate level. And
there's very few. It's like Smash and that's it.
I think that mostly comes from the fact that it's not team-based, right? It's more so solo competitors. So
we've seen it before, though.
Yeah, we have seen it before. We know it can be done, and who knows? Maybe there's some new innovative way to make a collegiate FGC team that we just haven't seen yet.
I know if there was collegiate Guilty Gear, I know you'd be losing your mind. I'd be losing my mind.
I'd be losing my mind. If we casted Guilty Gear, this would be amazing.
If it was Guilty Gear and Tekken,
so hype.
I'd be out of my mind. But we have to wait for collegiate to catch up in that regard. That being said, though, if you want to try it, that's where the open tryouts will be there for. But any other final thoughts before we close out here for tonight?
Overall, great first week of preseason here. Great first week of the broadcast here. Just excited to be back myself, back into the full swing of things with class and broadcast now both going on. And overall, was a great broadcast tonight. Thanks for being on here with me, Dan.
Hey, my pleasure. Of course, also a big thank you to Steve for commentating, of course. To Kaylee and Ryan in the background here, working behind the scenes as director and observer. Of course, broadcast would not be able to be done without them, especially not as smoothly as it has been. So big thank yous there. Also big thank you to everybody at home watching, your new classmates, new friends, or your family members, whomever it may be. There's a lot of talk and a lot of hype in regards to watching your acquaintances or whatever, like actually playing, whether it be live in the arena or here on Twitch. So I'm just so excited to continue. Lastly, in regards to the broadcasts coming up, we have to get them first. So there was supposed to be a Valorant one tomorrow, but unfortunately we're not allowed to actually be observers for that one, so it will not be there. But of course, we want results on that. Our social media is where you want to go, and especially when we do get our schedule, that's where you'll know where to find us.
Yeah, for sure. Keep an eye on that Twitter, because that's pretty much where you get updates on all things Saints. I mean, broadcasts, new talent, new teams, maybe.
Absolutely.
If anyone does decide to try and bring a new academy team in, but yeah, keep up to date on that, and we'll keep you updated ourselves.
And the last possible thing, be sure to follow us here on Twitch, or sub if you're on YouTube as well, to make sure, especially if there's a bit of a last-minute broadcast pickup, which it's collegiate, it's going to happen quite frequently.
Reschedules,
you don't miss a thing.
New games, it happens.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, overall, good night here. Great to see a new school coming into the Rocket League scene here, and have a good night, everybody.